Pace car is off the track now. They're a bit straggled beyond the front row. Brayton begins to accelerate. There's the green flag. And the 79th running of the Indy 500 is underway as Scott Goodyear sweeps across the outside and into the lead. Ari Lyondike ducks into second place. And we've got a car into the wall. Right off of the first turn, two cars tangle. One of them is Eddie Cheever. The other looked to be Stan Fox. And the front end of one car cut away. The rest of the field slows.
All right, Paul, in turn two, we can see debris, the main bad thing. Debris, broken race cars, laying all over this race track. Clear down into turn two. All the way from turn one, clear down here. There's Dan Fox sitting right in front of us there. The biggest thing the guy's going to have to worry about when they come back around, cutting their tires and all the carbon fiber laying around.
We've seen three cars. Eddie Cheever is out of his, Stan Fox is his, and it looks like Lynn St. James, the third car. She is still in her car. A.J. Foyt down in the pit area, no longer in two-way communications with his driver, Eddie Cheever. But the yellow flag out right here on the start. And there is Ferran trying to drive a broken car back to the pit area.
Paul, the track is blocked so bad down here, they're going to have to put the cars down on the pit apron to get them through in my area.
Let's go to the pits, Gary.
And a quick radio report from Paul Tracy. Paul, he said, Tracy told his crew he barely missed that accident as it happened. He said it's the luckiest thing that's happened to this team this season.
Well, a first lap incident is one of the great fears. Here it is as the leader, Scott Goodyear, came off of two. Now watch way up in the corner. Suddenly two cars get together, and that was Cheever and Fox. The field darts to the inside, many using the warm-up lanes, which were only built here a few years ago, but probably saved many drivers here today. Stan Fox looks like he got into the wall incredibly hard. We're concerned about him, very concerned. We'll keep an eye, and we won't report anything until we actually have it confirmed.
You can see as we look at this second replay how many tires and suspension pieces began to come off the cars right away and affect cars that really were not part of the original accident at all. Lynn St. James was one of those who was tagged by flying debris. Here's a third one from the car of Bobby Rahal, who of course started fairly far back in the pack. Watch to the right of the screen, and there's where the debris is already bouncing around. Remember, carbon fiber is dark gray in color. It's very hard to see against the track, particularly on a day like this, so it's easy to pick up a flat.
It would look from my vantage point down here in turn two, Sam and Paul, that something must have broken on the Fox car because it immediately made a right-hand turn. That's not normal.
Let's go to Jerry Punch.
A.J. Foyt talking to his other driver here, Scott Sharp, momentarily. A.J., a tough break at the beginning. What happened?
Well, I really don't know. I have not talked to Eddie, and you know, this is racing. I've been that way before myself here. But right now I'm in contact with Scott trying to figure out if we need to pit or not.
Okay, that's Scott Sharp, his other driver. Let's check in with Jeff.
Here's another driver involved, Eric Bachelart, your crew working on your car. From your seat, could you have any idea what happened?
I was too far away, so I just suddenly I could see Cheever was in the wall and there was parts flying all over the track. And I was more a victim of that because there was a one wheel flying and hit my front right. So all the front right of my car is damaged. So they're going to fix it now. And I should be able to restart, but I hope the car is going to be set up properly again.
Well, let's swing over here. Thank you, Eric. Walt.
We will keep track of all of the drivers involved in that accident. You've already seen that Gilles de Ferran is back in the pits. They're trying to get his car going. And we will keep track of things at the medical center here. We have very good communications. We don't want to do anything until we know exactly what the conditions of everybody is. Let's go back to Gary Gerald.
Paul, you mentioned Gilles de Ferran out of the car, still with the helmet on. I understand, Gilles, that this was one of those cases where you also were just a totally innocent victim.
I mean, I saw the incident quite early on the corner, so I slowed down very early and went to the inside to make sure nobody hit me in the back. And from the smoke, one wheel came bouncing off and hit the car. I mean, there was little I could do.
We're nearly 12 minutes now into this yellow situation. Your crew continues to work. You have the helmet on. Obviously, it looks like you want to get back out here and run some.
Oh, sure. I want to do as many miles as I can do, and we'll see if we can fix the car. If we fix the car and the car is safe, we'll continue. Otherwise, there'll be little point.
Well, we're glad you're safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gary, let's go to the pitch. Derry punch.
Actually, we're back in the garage area. Eddie Cheever able to walk away. Eddie, what happened out there on the first lap?
I was on the outside of Stan, and I was already starting to look at corner 2, and he just turned sharp right. It almost as if something either broke in his car or somebody pushed him. He turned sharp right. He hit me, and then he hit the wall, and he had a big impact. Big impact.
You've been in the care center. Any updates on anybody else? She's talking to any other drivers in there?
We're all in different units there. You don't. I just saw the workers taking Stan out of the car, the track, and he had a big hit.
Obviously, Eddie Cheever okay, but very upset about and worried about some of the fellow drivers.
Lynn St. James was one of those in that accident. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
And Paul, fortunately, she's walked out of the hospital. Lynn, what happened out there?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I saw that there was an incident up ahead, and I just tried to find a hole. I thought I had found one. I had to go high, but I got hit and then got into the wall, and so that I was on my own missile. But it seems strange because the incident was so far ahead that there should have been enough room for people to get through, but everybody was, I guess, still bunched up, so it's just very unfortunate. It's too short, you know, and these things really shouldn't happen, but unfortunately they did, and I can't bring much light to it. I'd like to see a replay myself just to get a better understanding.
A tough month, and it all comes up too short for Lynn St. James.
Further update now from the Track Medical Center. Here's Jerry Punch.
And Dr. Henry Bach has walked out to speak with us. Henry, what's the status of the 4 drivers you've checked out?
Lynn St. James, Carlos Guerrero, and Eddie Cheever have been released in good condition, and they're back out of the hospital. Stan Fox has a closed head injury. He's on his way to Methodist Hospital. We'll probably have some information on him in about a half an hour, 45 minutes.
So, Henry, we'll come back and try to get an update on Stan Fox at that time.
Thank you, Jerry.
Paul?
All right, there's the official word from the medical director at the Speedway, Dr. Henry Bach. Scott Goodyear made. But first thing first, the driver's condition of Stan Fox, that driver injured 1 week ago in that first lap accident at Indy. Well, the news is good. He is in fair condition in the neurointensive care unit at Methodist Hospital of Indiana. He is conscious. He has opened his eyes. He is responding to verbal commands, and they say he has greatly improved in the past couple of days. The question remains, what happened, and did the car do its job? At the start, Fox accelerated at 206 miles an hour. 1,000 feet or 3 seconds later, the onboard computer recorded suspension, steering, and deceleration changes some thought was a bump from another car. There is no visual evidence to support that. It could have been a race start turbulence combined with his turn into the corner. Just past the apex, the rear came loose. As Stan countered the skid, his wheels crossed the rumble strip and he hit the dirt. The car snapped to the right. He was then hit by Cheever, ripping a hole in the side of the tub. At 164 miles an hour, he then hit the wall. The side hit slowed him down. Apparently realizing his predicament, Stan's midget racing experience kicked in, and he crossed his arms. But weakened by Cheever's tub, the front end broke off. As Stan rode along the wall, he bruised his foot on Cheever's wing. Despite these pictures, there are no major external injuries. In fact, his uniform wasn't even damaged. His closed head injury was caused by G-forces and not by external trauma. Now, that closed head injury can be very subtle. The brain floats in fluid inside the skull, and the injury occurs when the brain twists in the skull or slaps up against the inside of the skull, and there is no way known to protect against that.
Remember last year, the Indianapolis 500, the first lap, that horrifying accident, Stan Fox involved in that? Well, Stan Fox has been recuperating for the year. Many people thought he never might, but a little bit earlier, he was able to sit down and talk with Jack Arute.
Paul, very few times in a man's broadcast career do you get a chance to do an interview that you actually look forward to for a year. Well, it's my case with Stan Fox. Stan, first of all, welcome back to the Brickyard.
What can I say? I'm here. You know, I'm here.
What about your physical condition? I know America wants to know, how far are you in the road to recovery?
Well, it's hard to tell you, really. I can do about anything you want done. And that's like push-ups, sit-ups, whatever type of thing you want done, I can do it. So I would say I'm probably as good as you can get me. I'm better than when I used to race. You know, my body.
More physically fit.
More physically fit than when I used to race, so that's saying something.
A godsend, you've been quoted in the print media, and you've said it on the air before, that for your family it was probably more difficult, because for you, you don't remember any of it.
That's right. My family did a real good job, and you know, it's about 3 months, a month before and 2 months after the crash, that I really wasn't aware of what was going on. I was fine, I looked fine and all that, but I wasn't fine as far as me remembering things or anything until I got back to Wisconsin and started doing stuff. Then I remember things, but I don't remember being down here in Indianapolis at all. And I mean the whole month of May. So it's 3 months just off my schedule.
Now, I know you've told many people that you haven't ever seen the crash.
No, I have seen the crash.
Oh, you have seen it?
I think it was 3 weeks ago I watched it on TV.
Well, then, can we take a look at it again?
Sure,
and,
you bet.
Maybe you can tell
Let's
us
see it.
at least what you think of as a fan, because you haven't seen it.
The funny part with the crash...
Here it is.
Okay. I don't think, unless you can see going on the straightaway, you see, you can't see me going on the straightaway.
Right.
Somebody hit me there in the straightaway on my right rear tire.
Okay.
And my right rear tire has a mark on it. It was still full of air and everything. So I think on the main straightaway, somebody hit me, and that's why I caused the accident in turn 1. And I'd like to find out if somebody would have a film that saw me on in the main straightaway, got hit. That would be perfect, because then I could see who hit me or why it hit me or whatever. But I think I crashed because I was crashed when I got in the corner. The car wasn't crashed, but that's why it went boom and it turned straight into the wall.
A lot of times, as a race driver, you know that what results in the crash happens maybe an eighth or a quarter of a mile ahead of where you end up.
That's right.
What about your future behind the wheel?
Like we said, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And when I don't know.
Now, what about your wife and your family? How do they feel about your desire to maybe go race again?
Well, my wife's only been around for 13 years.
Only been around for 13 years.
I've been racing for 20-some, so she really doesn't count. As far as a racing person, she's a good person. She'll come to the races or whatever, but it's up to me. If I want to race, I want to race, and we'll just have to see how I'm doing. And one of those days, I might start racing.
What does Stan Fox feel right now when he walks down pit road and sees the Indy Racing League and sees the drivers that are getting terrific chances and knows that the car that you drove, the team for Hemmelgarn that you drove for last year, is running so well?
You bet. You know, it's funny. I just sort of look at everybody, and there's certain guys that are going real good, and I look and they have a spare car, and I think, who's going to drive their spare car? And I go, you know, I don't know. And we'll just have to wait and see. You know, Fox, as far as he's concerned, is ready. As far as the doctor and everything's concerned, he's not ready. And until we can get together and just say why, until they can tell me I'm not ready and tell me why, they really haven't gained anything on me. So right now, I'm as good as they are. I mean, they say that, I say this. And until one of us says we're telling the truth and we can figure it out, what can I say?
What do you think of the speeds that guys like Lyondike are turning?
It's great.
Is it safe? Is it too
yeah,
fast?
It's safe. No, it's fast, but it's safe. If you're running a good 239 miles an hour, you just better know what the hell's going on in your race car. And like Lyondike knows, I'll guarantee he knows what's going on. So, you know, if you're a new guy, you're a rookie, and you're running that fast, it's probably a little fast, because you goof up a little, and bang, you crash. But Lyondike and guys like that, they've done about everything you need to race. He just knows what's going on.
You know, before that crash, one of the last things that I said on the air was the story about you and how much Indy meant to you because of the payday, but also because of the 400,000 plus people and the fact that it made Stan Fox who he is. How difficult is it for you right now to even have to consider the fact that you may never hear that applause again on a Memorial Day?
I'll just have to wait and see, won't I? You never know, do you?
Guess not, but I'll tell you what, Paul, I think everybody, they introduced him to the crowd about, maybe 15 minutes ago, and it was as great an ovation as you would have heard for an A.J. Foyt when he retired. I think everybody in the racing fraternity is just ecstatic that Stan Fox from Wisconsin is here to watch qualifying today. Thanks for coming by.
You bet.
Paul?